Today is the day we have all been waiting for. Well, at least I've been waiting for it. I am going to activate my wildcard in game week 18. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe, and let's get right into the video. Now, before we get into the wildcard team, let's have a look at how much of a disaster I had in game week 17 with Foden captain instead of Haaland and bringing in Tavernier instead of Semenyo. It was awful, but once again, the Monday night fixture saved me. And I know it doesn't look like I was saved because I went from 4k to 19k overall. Before Anderson and Raul played, it was looking bad, but now it's looking all right. I'm still in the top 20k. Also, guys, check this out. Don't have any merch or anything, but my girlfriend made me this cool jumper. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, it was my birthday on the 23rd of December, hence why I got this cool present. So if you didn't say happy birthday, you have to subscribe, you know, because you've not been very thoughtful. So I'll forgive you if you subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. And one more thing before we carry on with the video, it's Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you're all having a wonderful Christmas. Apart from Foden and Tavernier fails, we did have some saviours. Like I said, Anderson and Raul did quite well. All my defenders got returns somehow. I did not expect it. They kind of saved me, you know, so it's not all bad, but it could have gone a lot better. Enough of this though. No one cares about how I got on in game week 17. It was awful. It was an absolute disaster. Let's talk about how I'm lining up going into game week 18. Before we get into it, I know some of you are wondering where the top 5k shades are. Well, guys, I'm nowhere near the top 5k. I may need to list these up on eBay. I'm not doing too well at the moment, but I will not give up hope. So I'm going to leave them on the side of my desk here and hope I have the right to wear them again soon. Starting with the goalkeeper, we are going with the goalkeeper we've owned since game week 1. You know, the backup goalkeeper as well. Sanchez and Dubravka, a great duo. Sanchez is looking to be the best value keeper in the game. I would own David Raya, but I think he's a waste of an Arsenal spot. Going into the defence, we have double Arsenal defence. There's simply nothing else you can do this season. If you want to benefit from the Arsenal defence, you need at least 2 Arsenal defenders. And I don't think Raya's worth the money. Just getting constant 2 or 6 pointers is a bit expensive for 6 million, and it's not worth your third Arsenal spot. So I've gone with Timber and Calafiori. Now, they may get rotated now and then, but missing out on a clean sheet now and then isn't the end of the world, because I think they'll make up for it in goals and assists, because Arsenal are massive set piece threats. Timber is the more expensive one of the two at 6.5 million. I'm wondering what to do when Gabriel comes back fit, because he's a similar price. I may end up switching from Timber or Calafiori to Gabriel when he's back fit, which seems like a sideways move, but in general, he is the best Arsenal defender to own. The best for goals, the best for defcons, and the best for bonus points. So these guys are here for the long term until Gabriel's back. Then I'll switch one of them to him. Double Arsenal defense is essential. Then we have Konate playing home to Wolves, a good fixture on for Liverpool. And I know they've not been keeping a lot of clean sheets recently, but if you look at my last video, the transfer tips, you'll see Liverpool's defensive underlying data isn't actually that bad. So I'm happy owning Konate. And the reason I've gone with Konate over Van Dijk is because Konate, over the last 8 game weeks, has been better for defcons. And I do think Van Dijk is looking fairly poor recently. He's not really worth the money. He costs 0.5 extra. I don't think he's worth the extra 0.5. So I've gone with Konate. And I don't usually mention people on my bench. Most people on this bench are kind of not worth mentioning. But Vandenberg will rotate with my Liverpool players, or Konate specifically, when he plays away to Arsenal in game week 21. So that's why he's there. I don't want to waste value on the bench. I'll normally go quite cheap, which I have done for the most part, but Vandenberg here is needed to create a good overall balance in the team. Now, we are lining up with a 3-4-3. Despite the forward market being pretty bad recently, this game week is looking very good. So in the midfield 4, we have Phil Foden, who I will not be captaining this game week because I don't want to be making a foolish mistake like I did last game week. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Next time I go against Haaland, hopefully Haaland blanks and my captain actually returns. Foden is looking like a must-own player. I've owned him for the last 4 or 5 game weeks ever since he started getting massive returns. So I've done very well with that transfer in. He's not going to help me much anymore because his ownership is so high. Like, everybody's going to get his points, so it doesn't matter too much. We then have Cunha, who I would like to be Bruno, but unfortunately, Bruno is injured, it looks like, for a few weeks. So I'm going to have to go with Cunha for the time being. But I do have some money in the bank. So when I do want to upgrade to Bruno and Bruno's back, I will happily do so, unless Cunha's on good form. Then I'll obviously keep him. I know Man United aren't going to be the strongest attack going forward because they're missing out on Bruno Fernandes, but they are still second in the league for expected goals, you know, so they're making chances without Bruno Fernandes. They're not going to be making as much, but let's be honest, if Man United do anything, Cunha is going to be involved. And even though Newcastle isn't the easiest fixture, they're not too good defensively, Alongside him in midfield, we have Sharda. I think that's how you say his name. I did Google it before I recorded. Brentford have not been the best going forward, and Sharda's underlying data isn't amazing, but he's a good differential to own. Like I said, he's got some easy fixtures, and if you look at the entire season, his expected goals and big chances aren't incredibly low, and he does find himself in situations where a striker would be. He goes central a lot inside the box and takes shots in good positions. He's just not been converting them. Like against Wolves last game week, he probably should have scored that big chance he had. So I'm quite optimistic for him. I think he's going to get a few goals over the next 5 or 6 game weeks. I don't think he's going to score loads. You know, at the end of the day, he is only 7 million for a reason, but I think owning this differential is going to be a massive advantage to me. Also, I know you're all wondering where Morgan Rogers is, guys. I think it's a mistake to own Morgan Rogers. He scored 7 goals from 3 big chances. That is simply not sustainable. And I know Morgan Rogers is a great finisher, but before this season, Rogers had less goals than big chances, and I don't think anyone should be surprised by that. I think he had 12 from 15. I'll put it up on the screen what he's actually got before the season started. He's overperforming the expected goals massively, and he will not continue. I know it seems like he will, but he won't. It's not sustainable, not even for the best finishers in the world. To finish off the midfield, we have Declan Rice. He's got great defcons. He's got so many set pieces. You can play him in any fixture, whether it's away to Man City or home to Burnley. Declan Rice has so many avenues to go down to get points, and he gets that 1 clean sheet point when Arsenal keep a clean sheet. And in general, that doesn't matter a lot for midfielders. You know, it's only 1 point, but when you play for Arsenal, you're going to be getting a lot of clean sheets, which is just another reason why Declan Rice is so good to own at so cheap. I mean, take last game week, for example. He did almost nothing and still got 10 or 11 points. It's unreal. He's a great player to own, much better than Saka in terms of price. You know, I think over the next 10 game weeks, him and Saka will score very similar points, but Declan Rice will be 3 million cheaper. In the front three, we have Erling Haaland, and I don't think anyone is surprised to see him as my captain. Haaland is unstoppable, and Man City are first for expected goals, so don't get any hopes up for Haaland blanking. Make sure he's your captain. I made that mistake last game week, and I will not make it again. Alongside Haaland is where it gets really, really interesting. First up, we'll start with Ekitike. Ekitike home to Wolves is looking like a no-brainer. 5 goals in the last 3. With Isak injured, it's looking like he's going to get reliable minutes too. And even if Isak wasn't injured, you know, he looks a lot better than Isak. So I think Ekitike is going to be getting some reliable minutes going forward. And playing home to Wolves is the perfect entry point. I know a lot of people are going Thiago to Ekitike this game week, and I think that is the right move. But I wouldn't do it for a -4K. I think you should leave it because Thiago has a really good matchup. Playing home to Bournemouth, who are first for expected goals conceded to strikers, is probably the best fixture Thiago could have. It's even better than home to Burnley for a striker. Which brings me to Jarrod Bowen. Now, a lot of you have Thiago when you're thinking of selling him. Some of you may be thinking of selling Thiago for Jarrod Bowen. This game week, I don't think you should. Even though I'm going with Bowen over Thiago, that sort of makes me a hypocrite. Bowen in general is better to own long term, but this game week, Thiago has such a good matchup. If you have him, you should hold him for at least 1 more game week, like I said, unless he's your only route to Ekitike. So don't be so doubtful of Thiago this game week. I'm accepting the fact he may score, but I don't want to waste a free transfer from owning Thiago in game week 18, then straight away switching to Bowen. You know, I'd rather save the free transfer because Bowen still has a good fixture and Bowen could return as well. Now, it's obviously a couple days before the deadline, so this isn't 100% confirmed, but I don't see myself changing my mind. I've been planning this for the last few days, and this is the best team I could come up with. I tried some back 4 formations. I tried, you know, some teams with Thiago instead of Bowen, but I didn't like them. This is the team I'm set on. If anything changes, follow my Twitter because I will post my team there before the deadline, but I don't think much is going to change at all. Anyway, guys, that is it from me. Hopefully my wild card helps me gain the ground I lost by captaining Foden last game week. If you did make it this far, thank you very much. You are greatly appreciated, and I will see you all in the next video.